So how is it possible that we can paint but without brushes or paint? Or yeah. Well, I discovered a newish marker recently, these Sharpie brush marker acrylic things, and I'm having a blast with them. And I'm going to show you how I've been using them and hopefully get you excited to try them out yourself. And yeah, let's just get into it. All right, friends, here we go. So I pulled a couple of things from my landscaping today. And I'm gonna move this for right now. I was sitting out in the driveway. This is all stuff that's like growing as like ground cover. And the other day I was sitting out in the driveway and I was just started to sketch this stuff. And it was very cathartic and very rhythmic and very, once I got into that rhythm, it felt very freeing. It felt, it was a brush marker appropriate intro. All right, cool. Look at that one. Look at her. I think this is all like in this stone crop, sedum kind of. I'm gonna dip these in water because they're just looking a little unhappy since I yanked them from the ground. But anyhow, let me show you what I did the other day, and then I'm gonna introduce you to this like painterly illustrative technique. So I guess technically, yes, we are using paint because it's an acrylic marker. I believe it's acrylic, but you're going to see very quickly that it is very much about illustration with these baddies. I'm going to get these out. So these are new at the time of recording this, these Sharpie, they call them Sharpie Creative Marker, and they are basically a brush marker, like a brush tip acrylic marker. And I am quite enamored with the texture of them. Really, really lovely fluidity to them. I'm just grabbing them all out of here because I have them mixed up with my Tombos. One more. I really hope Sharpie releases some more colors. Just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Now, if you don't have these markers, if you're sitting here and you just don't have them, a couple of things you can do as a swap or a dupe. You can, if you have a couple tubes of gouache, I don't care what color, use that. You're going to get a similar feel, and use like a number 4 round brush. Also going to get a similar feel, because the reality is I only have, what are there, 12 here? I only have 12 colors I'm working with. So it's by nature for sure a limited palette, right? So don't feel like stuck because you may not necessarily have exactly what I'm working with today. So let's just get into it. I'm going to start a new page, and I am working on the back side of these. The hot press side of Bindi's sketchbook is a watercolor sketchbook by Bindi Desai, create_D on Instagram. I'm going to go ahead on the back of this one. And I think I'm going to go horizontal. All right. Actually, I like this one so much. So I'm going to start with this gorgeous green. And I'm just going to talk you through what I'm doing. I have found that this illustrative style is incredibly calming and peaceful. Yeah, very peaceful. Friends, if you have a question as I'm going here today, please put a couple question marks in front of your question. It'll be easier for me to see. And if I don't see it, just repost it. It just means the comments went by too fast and I missed it. So with this style, I start usually at the center, but this one has a lot of yellow flowers at the center. So I'm just going to start holding the marker way down far, and I'm going to hold it almost perpendicular. And, you know, let's do a few warm-up markings, all right, with this. And if you're not using a marker, you can do the same warm-up. So holding the marker perpendicular gives me, in my body, it feels like control, right? Holding it up here, less control, right? Holding it up here and using my whole arm, even less control. So it's just giving you an idea of the range of motion. Pressure is key. This is the, like, here's the lightest pressure I could possibly muster, right? And then here's the heaviest. Another angle, heaviest pressure, heaviest. Same angle, light pressure. Going to give you all different types of marks. Do some bouncy marks, trying to make the lightest, thinnest line you can. Some bouncy swirls, almost looks like cartoon clouds. But it's a great exercise for, number one, loosening up. So it's a warm up, but also for kind of getting some muscle memory quickly built with this particular marker. Try to get even lighter. Even if you skip, the line becomes intermittent. That's okay. Yes, hot press paper is smooth. Oh, Heather, you're the nail tack. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the nail compliments. I have nothing to do with it. That is a whole skill set. Oh my gosh, painting artwork like that on tiny, tiny little nail beds that are curved, like holy moly. You've got to be kidding me. Insane. So just get a sense of what your marker can do, what your brush with a particular medium can do. Like if you're taking my suggestion and going for gouache in a number 4 round, what can it do? Do the same pressure tests, right? Pressure test, pressure test. All right, now this is cold press. So I'm getting more drag on the brush tip, if you will. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. Now, I want you to notice something. These markers do release in water when they're not cured. So that is a fun detail. I mean, any acrylic is going to release when it's not fully dried, right? This isn't like a special characteristic of these markers necessarily. Here we go. I'm going to grab this and I am just going to start casually making the general leaf shape. Am I copying this exact thing that I'm seeing? No. I am floating around. My lines are skipping because I'm trying to get very light and airy marks. I don't care that my lines are skipping. I'm looking back at my inspiration piece every once in a while. I'm not getting glued to it. I am embellishing upon it. Grab the yellow. Same thing here, perpendicular. And I'm making these little star-shaped flowers. I love, love, love the way these markers glide. And again, gouache, watered down to like a heavy cream consistency would make a very similar kind of fluid, velvety mark. Love that. I have another, I have a dark green too, or it's like a teal. Really odd choice of colors. Like, look at these. They're so similar, but they decided to put them in the set. Like, we needed more of like a forest green or like an olive, and they gave us 2 teals. Come on now. Come on now, Sharpie. Did you have some like massive vat of leftover ink or something like that you needed to use up? I don't know. So I'm just going to continue to build. And obviously I am deviating pretty significantly from my inspiration live plant. Maybe this is what it would look like on a larger scale. Maybe this is just me wanting to create like an imaginary wonderland. Yeah, hot press is not great for wet on wet. It really is not. But it's fantastic for certain things where you don't want that drag and you don't plan on, you know, doing a ton of washes. So I'm just grabbing a little paper towel because I did say we're going to paint without brushes. I mean, technically, now see how quickly that dried? I'm going to see if I can release any of this. Wow, it dried really fast. It hung out longer on the cold press for sure. Interesting. That's okay. I love these markers because I like the immediacy of the creaminess that I'm getting, right? And then you can also do the kissing with these. I was experimenting a bit where you can kiss them together. Kiss, kiss, kiss. And I'm going to do a little bit of this little budding situation here. Look at that. Look how lovely and creamy they are. And you get like that two-tone effect so effortlessly. So I'm just going to keep sketching today. Let me know your questions. Let me know if you're thinking of some modifications to this technique based on like not having these markers. And if you're trying something live here with me and it's not working, if I can kind of help you through that, let me know. You could even take white acrylic or white gesso and make some take a little mixing palette, whatever you got, a Corel dish, I don't care what it is, and mix, create like 3, 4, 5, colors pre-mixed based on your white acrylic and watercolor mixes. You can mix, friends, I painted an entire mural in my front room by mixing Holbein from the tube with gesso. And it was obviously pastel. The mural was very pastel, but I created the entire mural by doing that. So you can really get creative with your supplies. Now I want to give you a closer look at some of the cool blendy blends that are happening. So I really feel like I'm painting, but without painting. All right. I want to create that geranium that I did the other day. I've been going live a lot. And I did this cool random geranium leaf. Let's see what I can do here. I love the immediacy of this though, and I love the opacity of it. I could see some really fun things happening, bringing in watercolor markers into the mix with these. I mean, why don't we? I got them sitting right here. Don't wait. I need to kind of reshape that a little bit. I got a ton of geraniums growing out front right now. So I'm going from memory here. So be kind. And I'm also going from a very limited palette of colors. And look how those are blending right on the paper. Look at that. Aren't they great? I love that so much. Where's the gray? That's not gray. That's black. Oh, Christy Rice. Let's just open all these and have it be done with once and for all. Did y'all not see me? Oh, there's the gray. Good heavens. Get it together, Christy Rice. Put a little gray down here. Carry it through. There's something to be said for limited color palettes, even if they're wonky and don't make a ton of sense. Right? Am I right? I feel like I'm right. Don't get your hand in this stuff too soon because it will, like, look at it will transfer. If you can use acrylic white over dried watercolor and doesn't have that bleed proof white, I see artists use acrylic, absolutely. You don't need the bleed proof white. If you don't have it and you have acrylic, use acrylic, 100%. Absolutely. Oh, geranium action here. Let's get a little fluorescent going. And then let's blendy blend. See what happens here. These are Brushmarker Pros from Karin. They call them like water soluble, but they're not in a traditional sense because once they dry, like basically your luck has run out. Yeah, it's weird. They're weird little buggers, but they're cool when the page is wet. They're certainly cool when the page is wet. Okay, my geranium from the other day was much cooler than this one, but it's okay. So creamy, so luscious. And I love the thin lines we can get here. Friends, if you're having a good time, go ahead and give this video a boop. This was a kind of impromptu live. I decided to go live twice this week. So I will be live again on my regularly scheduled Thursday. So don't worry about that if that's one you've got in your calendar. I haven't put it up yet, but it'll be there. That's a standing date in this community since the beginning of the year. All right. What do I want to do over here? Let's get some sweepy. Now I'm holding the marker up higher, kind of in the middle of the barrel right now, and let's do just some filler. I'm kind of going at a side angle and then connecting at different angles, just these random shaped leaves that I'm creating with like kind of a side sweep, like that, sweep. And I'm kind of following the trajectory of these swoopy stems that I initially created, and it's giving it nice movement, really nice movement. Yes, I do. I do a live every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. So this one's just kind of an extra for funsies because I felt like it. Let's take a look. I want to see what I did this one in gouache. So I might bring in, I did this one the other day, super rando in gouache. But I actually, now let's kiss together a black and a green. All right, and let's see what we get. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that. Can you see that? You see what I'm laying down there? You see that? Beautiful ombre situation happening. Love that. Oof. Yeah. Do they dry tacky? Hold on. I don't believe so. But let me double check for you based on the one I did on the weekend. No, they almost feel like a little, no, I don't really feel much. Definitely not tacky. Definitely not tacky. And y'all, this is not like a paid anything whatsoever. This is just me having fun with supplies that I bought. Just thought I should bring that up. Yep. Mm-hmm. What's everybody working on these days? Any fun projects from the weekend? I'm just adding in some detail into the geranium with a lighter touch, so I'm getting thinner marks. Back to holding that way far down. Okay. Na, 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 na. I don't know why that came into my head, but it did. Painted some bookmarks this weekend. Awesome, Betty. I love that. Dee finished a magnolia picture for my friend. She liked them. That's awesome. Love it. Magnolias are not easy. Not easy. Art with Alexander made a set of 4 lizard dragon scale bookmarks in both line art and watercolors. Oh, 8 of them. Awesome sauce. I like am so enamored by folks that are more illustrative than I. Sure. All right. Getting jiggy with it. The Thrifty Apprentice. Thrifty caught on right away to where I was going. I was going a little DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. That was more like Will Smith era. I mean, when did he like what I mean, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince were actually a band, right? Like actually not a band. What they were I don't know what R&B artists call themselves. They don't call themselves bands, but they were actually a thing. And then it went just what? Will Smith? Like, what was that evolution, right? How do we get here? How do we get here? I've got fresh, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song in my head. Oh my gosh, I love that show. Not unusual to be loved by anyone, because now I'm thinking of Carlton. Oh my gosh. I'm such a pop culture junkie. I can't stand myself. What else we got here? Just some basic stuff. I'm gonna make it kind of not basic. All right, here's a technique I love. All right, you start in the middle. Carlton, Amanda, I'm 46. I'm with you, babe. Heather, yeah. It was Jiggy with it was during the Will Smith solo era. Okay, see, I got my eras overlapped. Yes, a rap group at one point, right? Yes. Okay. Anne Marie says, Google says Jeff was busy producing for other artists when Will went solo. Well, shame on Jeff. Oh man. Andrea is working on framing and drywalling a closet in what will be our new bedroom. Dang, girl, get it. Get it. I love it. Oh, a charcoal. Sounds like work. That does sound like work, right? Heather, I'm all over the place this year. I've done a charcoal class, then an urban sketching class. I want to take a legit urban sketching class, like learn from like the legit urban sketchers. I need a lighter hand and I want to get a better handle on like fast, complicated perspective. Oh, then colored pencil. Now you're back to watercolor florals. How convenient. Enter Christy Rice. Yes, the magnificent DJ Jazzy Jeff. Yes, yay, I'm live, Tanya. I am live. Yes. All right. Let me show you one of my favorite ways. I don't know why I just went Southern. I don't know what happened. That was weird. To just sketch it out, just to like sketch a leaf situation and not like be connected to the actual like live thing that I have in my hand. Cause I do like to have like a photo or a live something in my hand, right? But I'm not going to worry about that right now. P. Larson is working on a commission piece and color pencil portrait of a black lab. I'll see you in 36 days straight that it's going to take you to do that colored pencil portrait. I do not have patience for color pencil. So my hat's off to y'all. All right. So start in the center. And what I am going to be focusing on is just smaller petal leaf sizes in the middle, and then different, just varying pressure. But I am not going to look back, and I'm just going to swirl these around different sizes, but generally smaller. And then as I go out, work bigger, and then make some kind of curly leafy moments, but really just focusing on the incredible opportunity that I have with these markers to give a very immediate ability to do different pressure. So my line quality is just mwah, chef's kiss. Does this kind of look like a cabbage roast? Sure. Does it kind of look like a head of cabbage? Maybe. Do I care? No, because you know why? because it was stinking fun to make. And I'm just going to keep going. And maybe I'm going to change colors. I think I am. And add some accent lines here. I'm having fun with line quality. I'm having fun with kind of the gestural quality of these sedum type flowers and leaves, very gestural, or could be kind of captured in a gestural way. And on top of that, I'm having fun with my materials. All right, so another thing I love to do that is just kind of like free form, and so I did it earlier, but let's repeat it. I'm just gonna do some wispies. Some are longer, some are going to come out from the main wispies, all very thin lines, right? Some are going to curve down, some can curve out, right? And then we're just going to get in there and make different marks, different angles, meaning holding your marker or your brush or your pen at different angles, changing the hand hold a little bit. Like you could do this, you could do something like that. You could do like a drag down, like a downstroke. But what you end up with is really fun, either a finished leaf, like honestly, this could be a finished leaf. This could be a finished leaf with just a little editing on the end. Same here, right? Finished leaf, add another one because it's cute. I like the way those little baby ones look, right? Like you've got the beginnings of really lovely leaves, and then it starts to become gorgeous filler, right? I'm going to just put some highlights on here. Just another reason I'm really enjoying these markers because they layer over each other. These markers don't feel like acrylic, y'all. They don't feel like acrylic. They feel like gouache. Like if they were to make gouache, I mean, because they haven't, right? Like they haven't made gouache markers because I feel like I'd own them. They haven't made those, right? But that's what these feel like. Hey, Sharpie, brava. Nice job. Can you make me some more colors and send them over pronto? Thanks. They're really well done. Really well done. I don't know anything about light fastness. You know that I probably don't care too much. I'm filling in because the fill-in aspect of these is so, especially this teal. For some reason, some of these markers are juicier and the teal is hella juicy. Leave some white margin. Oh, get it, get it, get it. Drums, please. I am in my Will Smith era. Oh my gosh. Like, isn't this fun? All right, sorry, I'm getting into myself here. Let me go see questions. I have watercolor pencils. I don't use them because they don't make me feel happy. Elizabeth, same, same seas. I will say I have been using the Ranger Distress. Was it Tim Holtz did those? And those make me a little happier. Let me see if I missed any questions. Don't forget to put question marks in front of your questions if you have them. Heather says she was a big time acrylic only painter, but now you're in love with watercolors more, but love both still. Yeah, I love art supplies. Anne Marie, why don't you check out, I mean, would you rather in-person classes? Because you could always check out Skillshare too for more in-depth classes if you're not feeling like in-person yet is the way you want to go, or you want to work a little bit more at your own pace. I would check out Skillshare. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Hey, all right, let's see here. Oh, Heather, a friend wants you to paint a Chihuahua angel dog. Oof, that'd be hard. There's a lot of emotion wrapped up into that. Not to mention, it's painting animals gives me agita. Let's see. I would like to see a lesson on incorporating color pencils into watercolor pieces to enhance the color. Hey, Betty, I have one. I did a whole thing with Sarah Renee Clark. So if you just look, just search my channel. Like if you go to my channel page, I think you can just search my channel and just search Sarah Renee Clark or just search colored pencils. And I did a whole thing with Sarah. She taught me how to use colored pencils. And then I went off on my own and created kind of a hybrid piece where I did just what you just described. Let's see here. Let's see. Jess, I am using Sharpie's new at the time of recording creative marker. They are an acrylic brush, a really nicely done brush marker acrylic. And they are just they're giving me the feels for sure. They are. I'm not gonna lie. It is not my favorite type of brush head for a brush marker, but it's pretty darn good. Like a girl can't complain too much. All right. A girl can't complain too much. But yeah, I'm seriously getting gouache feels. Gouache. My issue with acrylic markers has always been the fact that they have that like bullet point. Is that what you call it? Like a bullet nib? Like, what in the world can someone do with that? I'm just not skilled enough, apparently, because I can't, for the love of me, get down with that type of tip. So I am loving, loving this situation. Have I said I loved it? Have I said I'm enjoying it? Yeah. I want to introduce something crazy here. Let's do it. This beautiful like orchid pink. Lovely. Isn't that gorgeous? Let's just have a moment of peace with the addition of a very unexpected and rather odd pink, because I'm here for it. Isn't that nice? Don't you love it when you have that moment in your artwork where, you know, your mind is racing, you're thinking about all the things, you hear all the noises, you feel all the distractions, and then all of a sudden, your mind quiets. Your should dare I say, your mind actually nothing else quiets, nothing changes except that something internally changes and you feel a peace. Your soul and your brain and your nervous system has this ability to kind of block out the noise all of a sudden. And it's quite lovely when it happens. And I tend to call that the joy moment. I know that sounds a little subversive, but don't care. Look at that. Isn't that great? I'm clearly undecided about how I'm managing this. I mean, this is kind of starting to look like a really interesting succulent, so I'm going to go with it. Y'all, I've become, speaking of succulents, I've been obsessed with begonias. I know that doesn't make sense, but that's where my brain went. Like begonia house plants. Oh my gosh, I just picked up an angel wing begonia. I have so many new plants and they're all, you know, like, you know, you get a new plant if you're a plant person, like, you know, like there is an adjustment period and the plant is like, what you doing, mama? Like, and they're fighting back and they're looking nasty. And like, I've got so many new plants that I've got like a little bit of an anxiety situation going on because like my old plants are revolting because I repotted them all because it's the spring. All my new plants are like, what's this northeastern Pennsylvania crap? I came from Florida, you know? So, but oh my gosh, my begonias are the only peaceful creatures that seem to be living in my house right now. And they are giving me all the feels. In fact, I'm pretty sure I might be, I've been thinking about for Thursday's live of just going straight up begonia heaven because can I just show you? I've been working on begonia leaves. I think I did this one live last week. They are so fun to paint. I'm working on another one for a reel. And they're actually incredibly easy to paint. Easy to paint because you're just floating colors into colors, and then when it's dry, put some veins in, and it's like really hard to screw up. I mean, how do we feel about it? Would you like to learn how to paint my begonias? Let me know how you're feeling about that, because I've been obsessed with begonias. Obsessed. Easy to keep alive for a week so far, yes. Yeah, that's Andrew, that's what I'm thinking of doing. Yeah, yeah. So begonias, I always have begonias outside during this time of year. We always have one on the porch, and they just don't like to be moist. They like to go dry. They like bright and direct sunlight, and they don't like to have wet feet whatsoever. They don't really like to have wet anything. So, that has been, I've got a new one. I just got a Rex begonia. It's the variety is called Rex, and I'm just keeping a real close eye on it. It was, I think, didn't I bring it, or maybe I brought it out in last week's live? Did I do it then? Yes, I did, and I actually brought out the begonia, but I want to go further with the begonias in this coming week's live. I'm thinking, but yeah, she's looking good, and she's getting dried out, and she's not wilting or nothing. And the thing is, they've got fleshy stems that hold all that water. So yeah, thank you, Anne Marie. I did do the Rex, but should I do more? Because I feel like I want to do more. I am smelling absolutely no odor. No, no odor. I mean, okay, like if I put like a bunch of them together, hold them. Isn't that a pretty color palette right there? Hold them up to my nose. No, I'm actually smelling nothing. Maybe the faintest hint of like a watered down Windex, maybe, but not even. No, very impressive. Yes, to begonias. More is better. Nice. Thank you. Oh, here we go. Betsy, I've been an art junkie for over 40 years. She says, my only experience with watercolor was in high school. I only did what was required because you hated them. Now I realize I just don't know how to use them. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Watercolor will surprise you. It'll come up and it'll bite you in the behind and be like, hey, I'm here and I'm awesome. Don't forget about me. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. Stop. Stop. I just discovered something as I was talking about watercolor biting you in the butt. Remind you how awesome it is. I was using the Karin. Hold on. Hold on. Hold. Ah, I'm so excited. I can't even handle what just happened. All right. I have this Karin Pro Marker Pro. What are these called? The names of Karin markers are so easy to mess up. They all sound the same. Pro Marker Brush Pro Pen Flow High Yay Pro. And they all do different things, and I can't remember a daggone thing about them. But can we just stop for a moment? Because these are marketed as a water-soluble marker. And I was just like, oh, let me see what would happen if I went over top. Yeah. What's happening? Why? Why? Why is that working? Let's see what happens when it dries. Is it going to calm down? Because I actually smudged right there. Why is that working? I'm able to glaze over top of the Sharpie with the Karin Water Soluble Brush Marker Pro. What? Hold on. All right. The hills are alive. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can't even handle myself. I just thought it was going to kind of fade away because, this is sheer. Let it dry. Let it dry. It may still fade. What is happening in my life? Oh, yeah, I'm not here to encourage you to buy things, but I know this is not my intention. Again, this is not sponsored. Yes, with the sound of music. Ah. My heart wants to sing every sound that it hears. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Wow. Okay, I mean, that was just white paper right there. I'm gonna put another one back here. Sound of Music is my favorite movie of all time. I can watch it over and over and over again. Now that I'm singing it, it makes me want to watch it. I haven't in a couple months. I mean, this is getting garish. It's getting hot in here. Ow. Okay. I am so excited. I need to email all these companies and be like, what you doing? What you doing? You messing with us? I mean, you're seeing this work. This is okay. It's not totally dry right there. All right, let's put some green. Now, okay, now that went darker, like I kind of expected, but I actually still kind of dig it. Oh my Lord. You have got to be kidding me. Hmm. Look at even over the green, the orange is showing up. Oh gosh, that looks like a petri dish experiment, but I don't care. Yes. Yeah, of the Fearless. I know. Moonstruck is your favorite movie. Yes, I will link the different supplies. Absolutely. Oh, I do love The Princess Bride too. I do. I love that movie. Thank you, Betty. I love to sing. I'm singing in church again on June 30th. We're celebrating 5 years in our new church building. And I'm super excited to be singing that day. And I think I might be soloing again. I'm not sure. She hasn't for sure said, but the last two times that I've been on, I've had a solo where I lead. And yeah, it's been super fun. It's been super fun. All right, I need to slow down. I need to like stop it. I need to add more greens and stuff before I mean, can we just though? I mean, you all am I just like high on caffeine and this isn't as impressive as I think it is, or is this impressive? Say impressive if you think it's just as cool as I think it is, or if not, just be like slow down. Just say slow down in the comment section if you think I'm nuts. I'm fine with either. Yes. So what I've been layering on top in utter amazement is Karin Brushmarker Pro. They're water soluble. Um, so the closest thing that they have to watercolor marker, but I have found that when these dry, they hardly budge, like they don't re-wet. But you know, it's okay. Let's see. So what do I want? What do I want? I'm gonna go back to this baby and maybe maybe a little. Need something a little toned down. So I'm going to kiss the green with the gray. Oh, that's actually really pretty. It's like an icy, icy green. I'm just making something out of my head right now. It might end up actually being a flower. Almost like a ranunculus. Like one of those, what are the green ranunculus called? I'm again focusing on various pressures. Really light. And I'm just kissing these markers to get kind of a blendy blended kind of effect. And as I go out, I'm just going to let it go full green. And I'm also going to make the marks thicker as I go out on the edge. And now I want it to be a little bit of a side view. I like how that's turning out. So I'm going to continue to build out on this side. Definitely ranunculus vibes. Right? Loving, impressive, wicked impressive, love it, impressive. It does look like a paint pour. Yes, I get that. Loving the glazing reminds me a little bit of the hen and chicks variety. Yes, that gray green. I love hens and chicks. I've been starting to fill as many pots as I can outside with hens and chicks every year, like just popping them out and letting them grow back in and then planting them in other places because they just come back. They freeze over, they look like they're dead. And then by like, you know, mid-April, I've got planters full of stuff that I didn't have to do anything to. I love my hens and chicks. Love them so much. All right, we're getting some neutral vibes over here to combat all of the crazy. Crazy. I'm crazy for feeling so excited about these stupid markers. Oh my gosh. Isn't it lovely though that we can get, I feel like you're in a good place in your existence within our wild world when you have the ability to get really flippin' excited about seemingly mundane things, right? Let's face it, like a marker isn't terribly exciting. But what we do with it and the emotional connection we make with that thing we did with said marker can be incredibly exciting. But in reality, it's quite a simple kind of experience. And so I think we're in really good shape emotionally, and we are more resilient to the craziness of life when we can get really excited about simple things. So I've made it a habit of mine to be curious and thoughtful and weird and just really lean into moments that make me feel really happy and excited. Um, the simple moments that make me feel that way. So anyhow, for whatever it's worth, let's see what this blue does over top. It's pretty. This is the Karin on top of the gray Sharpie acrylic. The anticipation of creative discovery. That's what a nice stash of art supplies will do. Yeah, there is something to be said for like having a variety of art tools that you can just have at the ready. Absolutely. There really is. There's really something to be said for that. So fun. This makes me want to get more of colors of these because I've only got the fluorescent. I've only got the fluorescent. Now, I want to get a little dampness here and see what I can do. Oh yeah, can blend that out a little. Yeah, see, they don't like once they dry, they just don't want to move too much. I'm not terribly excited about that. So I'm gonna actually just refine the shape a little bit and move on from that idea. I'm just gonna go with the acrylic-y, painterly nature of this day and just be okay with it. I'm an art lover at large. I am not monogamous with watercolor. Yeah, very cool. Let me run the paint out on this one. Because this was the gray marker that I was kissing with the green. Hmm. Just making some marks on a curve, descending in size. Simple vein down the middle. These could become begonias very easily. Since I've got begonia on the brain. And there's all different ways to make a very similar shape, but I do love, I'm going to do a big one down here with the gray because I'm liking that. So big swoop, a little bit less swoop, and then descend. Descend, get smaller and shorter and curve them in. So this is your longest, thickest mark, and this is your shortest, smallest mark. And let's go over here, and then we're going to meet down here. Same thing, right? Kind of connect it up here, get a little stem going, and then a little bit of something there. And then if you want, you could start connecting them just with a little swoop, little something like that. You could bring out little veins to connect in a way with these thicker marks, but you're going to have to connect them and kind of make that connection over here a little thicker, right? And then if you want to start adding, I want to actually green this gray up again. And I'm going to see what I can do here, see what fun I can have. And get my begonia on here. This is just imaginary begonia. I was watching a plant auction this morning, and they had a bunch of begonias that started with a U. It was like U and then a number. And then somebody was like, what does the U mean? And they were like, unknown variety. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. So this is my unknown variety of begonia. I'm making my own unknown variety. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And then I'm losing my contrast, obviously. So do I want maybe a little bit? Let's see how this purple feels on the edge. And then maybe blend it out, go right next to it, show a little bit less of it, just a few strokes right next to the purple just to thin it out. Kind of like that. Again, you're working with a limited palette, so it forces you to make really inventive decisions, which I think is so good. Oh, look at that right next to it. And I got a little bleed. Are you able to see that? I'm getting a nice bleed because I went in right after I laid down that purple and I got a bleed. For that. Isn't that nice? So I'm painting without palettes. I'm painting without anything traditional. I'm going to go right next door. Yeah, look at that. Look at that gorgeous blend. I want to hold this up so you can see this better. Oh my gosh, I hope you can see that. Gorgeous blend. Oh, love it. It's still muddy and low contrast, but I don't care. I just love the technique that I was able to kind of experiment with there. I'm just going to do a little like hint of another one over here just to run out the color on that marker. Come in here as well. Get a little background-ishness going on. And then let's come over here as if there was another one coming out from behind this little, let's call her a hen and chick. Just a little hint of something going on. Yeah, you feel it. And maybe a little bit here, just a little shadowy. Leave a little white margin. Because we need a muted presence. We've got a really bold, I feel like we need a muted presence. Like I want one. You know, do we have to have one? Can you just go bold all the way until the cows come home? Yeah, absolutely not. Why not? But my heart feels like I want to balance all of this bold color with mutedness in areas, so I'm gonna. Oh yeah, I like that. Maybe just a little hint of something here. So it's like, is that another begonia? Yeah, probably, but we don't need all the information on that begonia. We just need some. We just need some. All right, let me see if I have any questions. Oh, Amanda, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so grateful that you chose to spend some of your time here. And my prayer for you is that these moments, if you watch on replay, these moments where you're just putting some marks on paper, which is what I presume you might be doing right now, bring as much healing to like your mind and as much peace as humanly possible in his name, honestly. Whether you pray or not, I do, so you're getting a prayer from me. All right? Amen. Okay, I almost want to just really be crazy here because I have a lot of cool like negative space. Let's go and see. I'm just going to do a little section here because this is just an experiment. Get in here. Ooh, why is my black marker so dry? Oh, oh wait, it was a little clogged. I think it's released itself. No, it hasn't. Oh, it's being weird. But gosh, look at what we could do here. Now this marker is doesn't have the juice factor of these others, which is frustrating, right? Oh, it is a little bit. Okay, so it's almost like maybe because I had these open for a while, the tip started to dry a little. So that's a good a good observation to keep in mind that these might not be as resilient, which would make sense actually. Duh, Christy. These might not be as resilient to being left open as, say, a watercolor marker tends to be for me. But I wanted to get in here and see about a little, just let's go full on like neon lights chalkboard and get a little black in here and see how we feel about it. Do we like it? Is it interesting? Do we need it? Is it more interesting without it? I don't know, but I'm willing to do the experiment so y'all can learn from my willingness to be absolutely reckless. Because I was really liking it before I added the black. I like the black. I don't know if we necessarily need it all over the place, but I do like the black. I want to try something down here. Just do some sketchiness. All right, I'm gonna add a little more black. See how we're feeling. All right, how are we feeling about the black? Like, hit me. Let's talk it out, because you may be deciding whether or not you're going to add your own touch of black or not. So let's talk it out. How are we feeling? Yay or nay, or undecided? Or should we find a way to have some areas incorporate the black and some not? That's actually kind of where I'm leaning, but I'm not quite sure yet how I might accomplish that. Part of me wants to find a way like here, like see how I can almost go from it being background to as the black crawls out from this like epicenter, that it becomes linear in a way, like here. Watch how I'm gonna try to show you what the heck I mean. Sometimes words come out of my mouth and I'm like, huh? So I can only imagine how y'all are feeling. See? Where like the black, as it trails, goes from being very obvious, like filled in background, to filler. Do we like, I kind of like that. I do. I did a little bit of that there. So background, background, background. Maybe I need to push the issue here a little bit to make what I'm trying to do a little more obvious. Right? And then let it trail out and get more fine and wispy and feathery linearly as it comes out in areas. Ooh, I think I like. Yes. Yeah, I like it. Thank you, Sue. If you put more black printed on canvas totes, I'd rock that tote everywhere. Friends, I got to tell you, we're bringing totes to ChristyRice.com because apparently people love totes. I didn't know totes were such a thing. But we're doing totes. We are bringing the tote that I did for Alt Summit. We're having more of those made. That one just says, what the heck did that tote from Alt Summit say? It was really cool. It was like rainbow watercolor. And I mean, it said Paint Crush on it, smaller. What the heck did it say? Like something like find your joy or find your watercolor joy. I don't know. It was cute. So I can't believe I can't remember what the heck it said, but we're going to do more of those. And they're going to be like sometime in October. We're having a massive, massive ChristyRice.com launch in October. And then we are going to do some other of my like little quippy little mantras that tend to just fall out of my mouth often on totes. So get ready for it. Screen printed with love locally here in Pennsylvania. So yeah, I'm excited about those. They're gonna be fun. Look at this. I like this from a compositional kind of standpoint. I want to see how Like I like how it enters here and then lightens and strengthens, and then poof, we're gonna make it poof over here. And it's gonna carry your eye in. Maybe, I don't know. I like this from a compositional approach. I like it, I like it, I like it a lot. I like it, I like it. Mm. Having a harder time getting thin lines with this black for some reason. I mean, every marker is going to be different, a little bit different, no matter whether you like it or not. Can't wait. No crying at the painting table. Yeah. Although I'm torn on that one. I know I said it the other week, but like, I want, if you feel like you need to cry at the painting table, you should cry. It's a release. But I think I said it, if I'm remembering correctly, the context in which I said it was like, we're not going to be sad over what we make. Like, we're just going to be okay with the mess. We're going to be okay with the chaos, and we're going to use it, and we're going to learn to let it propel us forward. So I still think there might be a place for that one. I think it's just funny. And it's a great reference, it's a great like reference to the movie with Madonna and Rosie O'Donnell, and what the heck is that movie called? The Lady Baseball Players. Anyway, there's no crying in baseball. Anyway. Oh, Nessa, I'm smiling so much through this that my cheeks hurt. Isn't that great when you've been smiling and laughing so much that you either feel like you have to pee your pants or your cheeks hurt or both? That is a lovely thing. That is a lovely thing. Let's applaud that. Yes. Yes, let's applaud peeing our pants because we're laughing so much. Oh my gosh. I done lost my mind. I am digging this black. I feel like I want a little like interference here with linear something or other. Little interference. So I'm little stem coming out and then a hard press and a quick lift. Ooh, yeah. Little stem, hard press, quick lift. That is giving some beautiful, beautiful spiky spike. Let's go over here and do it without the stem, just a little shorter. Oh gosh, I love that. Ah, yeah, little interference there with the back, with the it going from background to this like linear line work over top of the leaf there. I love that. Oh, I'm feeling it. Any questions, friends? Anything that, I don't care if it's about markers, watercolor, life, plants, I don't care what it is, business, being creative, making money as a creative, I don't care. I'm an open book. Ask me. What questions do you have today? I'm here for it. Patreon, a supply question. Is there a particular paint you're thinking of investing in and you want me to swatch a couple colors? I don't care. This is an impromptu live with very little plan. Not too different from all my normal lives, but nobody heard me say that. It's the fun of a live, I think. Let's see. Do you have any special supplies planned for tomorrow's Leaf Fest or just watercolor? You mean Thursdays? Or do I have something scheduled that I forgot about? Let me know. Heather, taking my travel paints and travel journal with me on vacation next week. Stop. The Lizzie Borden bed and breakfast you're going to? Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see. Will you share with me, Heather, on Insta? Will you share? That is so cool. Chalk markers, good for what? Okay, so when I think of chalk markers, I initially think of like those black, those like light up black like boards that restaurants use, but I know that's not what you're talking about. I don't know if I've ever used chalk markers. However, in a more fine art sense, I would guess like black paper. so you can get broader strokes and more coverage more quickly. That is my guess, but I have never used them. So if anybody has any kind of insight on that, please share. Let's see. Anne Marie says, I got a Daniel Smith dot card, but I regret it. I can't afford to buy tons and tons of them, but yes, they are so nice. Don't regret it. Use them. Use them. They'll last longer than you think. Okay, yes, Thursday. I don't have any special supplies planned yet. If I do the begonias, if I go begonia crazy, it's just going to be lots of watercolor, and I'm going to bring out a bunch of brands. I'm thinking, obviously, my Art for Joy's Sake palette, because I just feel like I can't be without her. I've been loving my Roman Schmall lately. I might bring out my Fine Tech. I have a small amount of Fine Tech, and I think I will be using the Winsor & Newton watercolor markers because they're right here sitting by me, and I'm just reminded of how much I've been enjoying them. So yeah, I probably will be using those. But honestly, it's a you never know what's going to happen type of situation with me and live. So, but it's definitely going to be, it's primarily a watercolor situation for sure. All right. Now let's see. I'm just adding another like begonia, or not begonia, geranium like leaf over here. Just a hint of something. Not with as much color as I've got going on here. In fact, I'm gonna mute some of that color in there. Maybe another one over here, just a hint. Yeah, these got tried out a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. So definitely keep them capped. They'll juice up, I have no doubts. They'll juice back up, but don't leave them uncapped like I did. That was a bad, okay, it wasn't a bad decision. It was just not the smartest thing to do. All right, another, just some color blocking here to suggest that there's more leaves behind surrounding. I love the boldness, the intensity, like the kind of these markers give me permission to really just be in it, just to at the paper. Whereas sometimes my watercolors, I'm like, and it gets light and airy and it doesn't feel, sometimes we need to be reminded of the intensity with which we can approach the paper. Yeah, the fierceness with which we can approach the paper. Let's see. Heather got chalk markers thrifting. They dry mattes. That's about it. I wanted to draw on windows, but they were too runny. Okay, interesting. So painting on windows or mirrors. Yeah, and get the 5 milliliter tubes. Get the smaller ones or the half pans. Their half pans, I have found their pre-made half pans are lovely. Just, they feel just like as when I make my own from tubes. So keep an eye out. Join the Watercolor Beginners and Beyond. I'm going to go ahead and type that out for you all. It's a group on Facebook. Anne Marie, I hope you can access that group because it's fantastic. And the owner of that group, her name is Diane Zimmerman. She always posts about sales on Jackson's, St. Louis Art Supply, Amazon. Now, obviously, I know you're not in the US, but Jackson's, she's always posting sales when they happen. So I'm gonna put this in the comment section. Go get it. Make sure you join that group so you can be notified of those type of sales. And I'm just adding a little bit of blue with my finger from this Karin, and that, oh yeah, you are so beautiful. Oh, I like this blue. To me, I remember I said no paintbrushes today. We're going to paint without palettes and brushes, and I am keeping to my promise. I ain't lying. I ain't lying. Yellow. Getting some texture in there, so I just kind of like wet this with my finger. you have concerns about toxicity, don't do it. Don't use your fingers, but I use my fingers all the time. Sorry. That's pretty. That is pretty. Just literally dipping my finger in the water. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so for me, I log in an old show. I'm not a member. I couldn't access anything. Okay, so you're okay. You know what, friends, if you're having trouble, if you're a member of my Patreon and you're not able to log in, can you message, can you actually, number one, see if you can message us on Patreon, see if that works. We monitor that inbox all the time. And then if you don't get a response from us within 24 hours, email hello@christyrice.com. In the subject line, put Patreon issues help, and we will get right back to that. Okay, here we go. Isabel says, if I try to get to the content from a link, it indicates it's locked and that I have to subscribe. But I already did subscribe. I don't want to take too much time. Maybe I can email you. Yeah, Isabel, absolutely email me. That is very concerning. When you email, let me know if you're accessing the link from, well, I mean, you would just be, yeah, just let me know any information. Like, are you on, what kind of browser? Are you on mobile? Are you on the computer? Are you accessing the link from the reminder message that you get from us in Patreon? Or are you accessing it right from the feed where all the scheduling posts are? I need as much info as possible, and we will get you help with that ASAP today. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. That is a bummer. Okay. Okay, half pans are only a pound cheaper than the tubes, and the tubes, yeah, tubes are traditionally a better value. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my thing is sometimes like, yes, tubes are a better value, but if you got to decide like what your priority is, do you want to get more colors sooner? Then half pans would be the better option. But yeah, if long-term value is the thing, then yes, absolutely. All right. All right, friends, let me know how we feel, and should I continue with more black? Where do you think it needs more black? I would love to know. I don't know. I'm like on the fence about the black situation. I'm kind of really liking it where it's at a lot. Oh, I like this little teardrop shape I can get. I'm just press and lifting, a hard press and a lift straight up. Look at what I'm able to get there. That's lovely. Now I want to cheat a little bit because I really want to get a fine line. Like super dupes fine line to connect these. So I'm going to cheat. Well, it's not really a cheat. All right, here we go. All right, we're just going to carry these back. Come on, don't fail me now. You're failing me now. There we go. No? There we go. Fine, fine line. Just a whisper of a line. Look how pretty that little teardrop shape is. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Oh, I love it. Look at that. That's nice. That little touch did something for me. Where's the black? Where's the black? Little touch here. This is the point where if you could see me, see like fully what I'm doing here, right? Like if I had a body cam going, you'd see me, I'm like leaning back. I'm really taking a look. I'm adding things, added it like I'm leaned back in my chair right now. I've got this at an angle and I'm adding things, some things while looking at the whole picture from a distance. You sometimes have to really think about the physicality when you've been working on the piece for a while. I've been working on this for almost 2 hours. You got to think about getting away from it. You got to think about like adding a few moments here and there. while you're at a distance, instead of being like right here, like here's my face, there's my face. Get away from it. Like I'm a good 1.5 feet away from it right now, adding some things, right? Mm. Mm-hmm. Because when you get your face out from, 6 inches away, you start to see things differently. You really do. Go, go pee. Go get a cup of water. Go take a little walk outside. Come back. Just 3, 4, 5 minutes can give you fresh eyes. You don't need long to get fresh eyes. Even just not getting out of your seat in just a little distance, boom, fresh eyes. There we have it. All right, yeah, I'm gonna tag Sharpie in this and be like, first, sponsor me. I don't do a lot of sponsorships, but I would definitely do a sponsorship for Sharpie because I don't want to have to be pushing something that I am not absolutely 100% in love with. It's just not my jam. I'm not a review channel. I do reviews, but I do them in a very specific way. But I would 100% take a sponsorship from Sharpie because what they've done here is pretty magical. Anywho, I'm gonna stop there visually because I'm feeling that like, oh, okay, step away. You got to listen to that gut where your gut's like, stop it, right? Just grabbed a Posca because this is what we've been dealing with. Now, Posca isn't an acrylic marker, right? Or do they have acrylic? These are what, alcohol? What are these? Or I don't know. Maybe they are. I don't know enough about markers. What does it say here? Bullet shaped. Wah, wah. No likey, no likey. This is what I'm talking about. This is what we're dealing with traditionally. This just nonsensical ugh, shape. I don't get it. Let me get caught up here a little bit. More black, more yellow. You bet, Isabel. Oh, Isabel, you got yourself a gift of a gallows. Awesome. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So yeah, Poscas have their place, but for me, the watercolor obsessed, I'm telling you what, these Sharpies are where it's at. Just a beautiful kind of balancing game between paintbrush and the feeling of gouache, which I don't know. Like, I would love to get inside Sharpie's head. Like, were they trying to go for a different acrylic texture in this marker? I don't know, but it is just, now what is this cap to? Anywho, it's just pretty incredible. So brava. All right, friends, this has been a blast. Thank you so much for being here. Posca now has real brush markers. Of course they do. I would have to try them out. And they are acrylic. Thank you, Jess. Thank you. So Posca are acrylic and they've come up with real brush markers. So we'll have to give them a try. Battle of the markers. Anywho, anybody think they're actually want to try these? Anybody going to put them on their wish list? They are in my Amazon store. If you're interested, you want to, obviously anything you purchase from my Amazon store, I will get a little commission on that, but they're in the link down below, in the description section. You're welcome, Dee. Dee, thank you for all the goodies. I'm looking at them right now off the side of my desk and I'm just so blown away. Thank you for your generosity. Yeah. Art with Alexander wants to try them. Yep. Dee's going to go get them. Rose loves Sharpies, definitely thinking of it. Hey, Rose, I'm so glad you're here with me again today. Hope to have you here on Thursday as well. I would love to see what you've been working on. Tell your mom to email me some photos or text me. Okay. All right. Found you just at the end, Deborah. Back it up, watch on replay. Have a great day, friends, and I wish you all the happy painting, markering, whatever it is you're going to do today. Just dive in, get into it, feel it, lean into the weird, and see where it takes you. Breathe, breathe through the whole thing. You'll be fine, and you'll come out on the other end creatively stronger. I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. So long.